I genuinely thought I'm never going to be allowed to have a party again after this. What's up guys, it's eFloD and welcome back to another video. Now, my story time of sorts of my little journey from Guatemala Beach through the Royal National Park did quite well. You guys quite like that. Got more likes than I think any of my other video. And I took to Instagram to do a poll on it, on if I should do another one of those, and it came back mainly positive. So I thought I'd record this one. And this time we're gonna go into a party I had that fell apart in every way possible. So earlier this year, I think February time or something like that, I decided I was keen for another party, and my dad has a rather nice house for parties, and thought I'd go there. So got it planned, got the go ahead to do it, and yeah, it was just going to be, you know, your normal, you know, house party, a house with a pool, you know, you have your typical party kind of stuff, swim in the backyard, have some drinks, hang about, and yeah, all good fun. And it was good fun for a while, till it wasn't. So we're hanging around, you know, having drinks, having a laugh, playing some beer pong, having a swim, you know, it's all going swimmingly, quite literally, I guess. Not really literally, I don't know. That was meant to be sort of a pun, but I think, no. So everything was going alright, and then where things started to go wrong was I'd been talking to an old friend from primary school who decided she wanted to come to the event, which you know I was happy for. That was no worries. And where I made my mistake was when she said, "Can I bring some friends?" My mistake was not saying no, because she eventually arrived with said friends, this old friend of mine from primary school. So she brought some friends with her. And that's where everything started to go wrong, I guess. So I mean, where do I start really? I skipped ahead slightly. So before this had happened, things started to go a bit downhill things started to go wrong when my dad and stepmom were out. So no one was guarding the house. It was just me and my friend, so I had to be responsible. Had to make sure everything was alright. They'd gone out for a while. Asked me to order food, which was good. I struggled to comprehend that basic task at this point because I might have had a couple drinks. I mean, who's to say really now? But anyway, they eventually got home later on, and I was talking to my dad about ordering food, maybe on the computer, because the task of calling up seemed to be too difficult for me to comprehend at the time. I think because I was trying to keep everything in check, sort of worried. I don't know what my excuse was. I don't know, maybe I was just too lazy. Who's to say? And my dad made the point of saying to me, there's a girl perhaps throwing up on the front lawn, like next to the main road. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's not a development I was really into. So I went down to check. Turns out she wasn't throwing up, just crying uncontrollably. Drinks had gotten to her a little bit, as they had me. So that was the first minor blip. And then we had sort of other friends trying to talk to her, make sure she was okay. So I was sort of keeping that in check whilst having the party still ongoing. And yeah, that was the first sort of obstacle, maybe. Like it was a minor, it wasn't something like super major, but it was a sign of things to come. Let's say that. So then we move on to my old friend from primary school days showing up with her friends, and one of them seemed to have had a few drinks before and a few more, and maybe a couple on top of that, because she was significantly gone. Very gone. And I mean gone. I didn't really notice when they turned up, but yeah, she wasn't in a good state. And whilst I was running around the house making sure that my crying pal was okay, and while I was sorting out that, primary school friend and primary school friend's sober friend had been making sure that primary school friend's drunk friend was alright, and at some point put them on the stairs, like that went up to like the main house, and just left her there to sort of lie down. That was their sort of point of attack, which I guess sit her down somewhere, but that didn't go well for me really. We progressed on to the night a bit later on. Things only got worse. So at some point, naturally, my dad thought he'd check on the party, check how everyone's doing, if everyone's going a good time, and just saw like I assume just a girl just asleep on the steps up to his house, or just like lying there. So he came down, got me, asked a few questions. He was like, what's happening here? He wasn't best pleased. Let's say that, fair enough. Random girl lying on the steps up to your house. So I at this point was like, okay, I'm not doing like the best job of holding this party together. I might want to tighten up a bit, want to sort of get a grasp on everything. And I was like, yeah, I know that that's happening, but I also have a girl crying. And at this point there was other drama with primary school friend's other friend that I was also handling at that same time. So primary school friend's other friend that wasn't as drunk as drunk friend on the steps, she'd gained interest in one of the guys there, who a girl that I'd know also had interest in. And then my friend who liked him and primary school friend's friend who liked him sort of basically threatening to fight each other and started beefing on and like threatening each other and stuff. So then I had to cool that down as well and be like, okay, it's all alright, can everyone just relax? At this point my friend is like running off onto the road. She like disappeared and then called me wanting to talk to another friend of mine. And I was just like, what is happening? At this point, we have someone asleep on the steps. We have someone crying and upset about something. And we have two more people feuding with each other over a guy who neither of them had met before the party. So, I mean, everything was going great. I don't really know what the problem was. So, yeah, they were arguing with each other, having a go at each other, getting upset at each other, and then like going off. The party was sort of splitting into groups of like my primary school friend and her friends and like all of my friends sitting together while I'm like running. I'm like bouncing around like a pinball trying to like keep on top of everything. Meanwhile, my dad's got like a keen on everything, like watching over me, what's happening, and I'm just like, I'm great at this party thing, me, like flawless, like nothing's gone wrong, like it's great, I've got everything under control. And then like the beef hadn't gone on enough already, my primary school friends started arguing with each other. I don't even remember what about, but they just started like having a go at each other for all of this stuff, saying all this stuff at each other. And I remember a lot of screaming and yelling and calling each other different stuff. And then my friend from primary school said to me like, I'm so sorry, like this doesn't normally happen. Like she had a couple drinks before, and I'm like, it's fine. Inside I'm like, this is the furthest from fine I've been in like my whole life, but let's try get this resolved. And keep in mind, this is quite late at night and there are people going outside to like smoke and stuff, but then they went from smoking outside to we'll just run like and walk around up and down the street and move around and go wherever. So I'm again thinking like, oh no, what now? I have to chase people out on the road. So I start running along the road, up it and then back down it again, barefoot, trying to chase after people and keep everyone together. And eventually my primary school friend decides to call like an Uber or like someone to pick up this drunk girl, so they come to get her. I'm like, yeah, you just do you, like whatever. I've like 400 million things I have to sort out right now, and it's not going great for me. But by the end of the night, I mean, I've tried to keep this a bit shorter for details because like one friend complained that like my other video was really long and whatever. So I've tried to skim over some details, I guess. Oh, and yeah, I forgot, as it got later, then I had two mates of mine, two of my boys, like yelling really loud, like to the point that a noise complaint would have been like not the furthest, like not the most out there possibility, like, and that just would have added extra drama. So I was telling them to shut up over and over and over again, to the point that like I genuinely wanted to hit them at some point. Like that didn't go too well. So by the end of the night, I'd had, let's see, a girl crying, someone drunk, like half asleep on the steps, two girls fighting with each other over a guy, two girls that knew each other through my primary school friend fighting with each other, and then two of my mates being like really loud, screaming all the time, one person walking off, disappearing and getting really upset, like walking down the road to the point they have to be chased by one of my friends, and then those two girls that my primary school friend knew, like walking off in different directions and yelling at each other and having to chase them. So I mean, yeah, it wasn't my best day out of a party, you could say. And my friends noticed. Two friends of mine, three friends of mine, I'll give them a shout because they helped me a lot. Marley, Manoli and Christian. Manoli and Christian, shouts to them because they went and just cleaned like my backyard. Like they got cups and cleaned it like without me asking them to, just because they could see I was having like a breakdown and thought like, we'll help him out a bit because he's clearly like drowning in all of this mess, which I was. So they went and took care of that, and then Marley was just talking to me like, you alright? And I was like, not really. But yeah, I had the three of them there to sort of help diffuse the whole situation and be like, it's okay, we'll get through it. And sure enough, it started to cool down eventually until there were only like a couple of us left. I remember like I was drinking for like the first hour and a half and then didn't like, and maybe had one cup in total the rest of the night after stuff started kicking off, and spent the whole night just running around trying to clean up all the messes that were being created. Yeah, it wasn't much of a party for me, more like babysitting. Yeah, it was very stressful, but eventually survived it. Once people started leaving, then I just had to make sure that my mates were being quiet enough that we wouldn't get any complaints. People started leaving, and I was like, oh, okay, it's over. It finally cooled down. All the beef sort of stopped. Well, people who were beefing left, so all that calmed down. Started cleaning up a bit more, the backyard and inside, throwing out all the cups and stuff, just cleaning up, just thinking like, what? I genuinely thought I'm never gonna be allowed to have a party again after this. Like, it was just that bad. I was like, how can I justify having a party when I've let all this go wrong? But yeah, it finally diffused. And then the funny thing was, so I went home, slept it off, and was like, okay, that was a night from hell. Let's leave that in the past. I remember sometime the next day, I don't know if I woke up to it or if I got it in the afternoon, but I got a text from my dad saying like, you did well cleaning up. And I was like, he definitely meant that, but I was just like, I laughed at myself because I was like, that was such a pathetic display of hosting a party by myself that I was like, yeah, you cleaned up well. Well done. Yeah, it wasn't the funnest thing in the world. It was a bad night for me, and I'm sure for all my friends who wanted to have a good time, but we survived it, and that's about it for the tale. Hopefully, so this will be a bit shorter than my first story. Hopefully, I mean, I've covered all the main details. Basically, everyone fought everyone, and I had a breakdown. So yeah, great fun. Parties, yo, they always go well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as you enjoyed the first one. I got good feedback on that. Well, like the analytics suggest good feedback. You know, you guys seem to engage well with that video, so I hope this was the same. I mean, more happened in this video. I mean, more happened with this event. Everything seemed to kick off, but it was a while ago, so I don't remember all the exact details. But I mean, I think you can get an idea of the anarchy. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit a like on the video. You know, it's a good way of telling me, like, keep it up, Floyd, bring more of these. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I am getting into uploading again. I'm not just going to disappear for a month, hopefully. Now I've said that, watch me do it. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram and add me on Snapchat at @the_FloydD99. Follow me on Twitter at @TheFloydD with capital T and capital F, I believe. And yeah, I think that's going to be about it for the video. If you guys really enjoyed this video, who knows, maybe I'll get like my dad on to tell his perspective of the day or something. That'd be funny. Probably not a memory to be relived more than it needs to be, let's just say that. But yeah, it's gonna be it for this video. Hope all of you guys are well. Yeah, that's all really. I don't have much to say, I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, take it easy. I'll see you guys again with a new video very soon, hopefully of good quality and soon, so I can really get this YouTube thing rolling again. I feel like I sort of lost steam with that month off. Now I'm back. I want to make good videos, so hopefully I can do that and be back to regularly entertain you guys as best I can. But with that being said, for now, I will see you guys next time, and peace.